Hey y'all, come on in. Good afternoon. This afternoon, we are just coming in here talking about depression and anxiety. Okay, when you tired of fighting your own mind, that's what we're talking about on this live this afternoon. Welcome in, everybody. We're talking about depression and anxiety today on this live this afternoon because you can look totally fine on the outside and not be okay at all. And we have seen that time and time again in the public space. And I don't want to make this heavy, but on today's live, we're talking about depression and anxiety. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing on today? We're talking about depression and anxiety today. Welcome into the space. Okay? Because sometimes we look like everything is okay and everything is not okay. And sometimes it's okay to just admit that maybe you're not okay. Right? That's okay. Welcome into the space. Good afternoon. Come in, welcome in. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know if you struggle with depression or anxiety, if it's something you've previously struggled with, because that's what we're talking about on this afternoon, depression and anxiety, because we tired of fighting self. And I want this to be interactive, okay? I want you guys to let me know, what does that look like for you? Is this something that you've struggled with before? Is it your mom, your cousin, your sister? Right? Like sometimes we be having stuff going on that we don't always tell people. We don't always talk about, and that's okay. So on today, I just want to talk about depression and anxiety. Okay, let's talk about what depression looks like, because newsflash, it doesn't always look like somebody crying. It doesn't always, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, my stuff is just like firing off. And I thought I put everything on like silent. So could nobody get me at this time. But as we're talking, goodness gracious, y'all. Depression and anxiety. Okay, let's talk about what depression can look like. Withdrawing. Right? Things that you typically do, you just don't want to do anymore. You're calling off from work. You're not going to class. You're not taking care of yourself the same way that you used to. Withdrawing, right? That's a symptom of depression. Sleeping excessively is a symptom of depression. Like, I get it. Some days we're just tired. Some seasons require more energy. We have to have more emotional bandwidth. We have to have the physical agility to be able to catch up with busy schedules and back to school and all of the things, right? So all things being equal, there are some times that your body might require a little bit more rest. Ladies, if you're menstruating, if you are nursing, right, those are things that require you to need a little bit more rest than at other times in your life. That's okay. I'm talking about a regular day. Your grown butt is sleeping 10, 12, 14, 16 hours every day. It's only 24 hours in a day, and granted, we do sleep anywhere from 6 to 8. Sometimes you might need 10. That's okay, but you mean to tell me it's Tuesday and you will sleep 16 hours on Sunday and 16 hours on Monday, and you don't think that something's wrong? Let me know in the comments if I am saying anything that resonates with you, if I'm saying anything that you can relate to at this time, okay? Because I want to know. I want to make sure I'm being helpful, all of that good stuff. Losing interest in things is also a symptom of depression. You love The Real Housewives and you have not caught up on an episode. You are so behind. You love going to see all the new Marvel movies, but it just hasn't been in you. Hey, Kiera Cervantes. I hope I said that correctly. Welcome into the space, my love. How are you today? I hope that your day is going well. I hope that you are blessed. I hope that you're happy and healthy. I hope that you get extra shmoney today that you were not expecting. I hope you get a good phone call today. Welcome into the space, girl. We just in here talking about depression and anxiety. And I'm just going through what some of the symptoms of depression can look like. And one of those things being losing interest in things. You love gardening, you're not tending to your garden anymore. You used to love reading, you're not reading anymore. Things that you used to enjoy, you just don't enjoy them anymore. That's a symptom of depression. Another symptom of depression is you have a really hard time doing basic stuff. Okay? All things being equal, I'm not talking about if you have some delays, like if you require additional support. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about laundry is really hard for you to do. Laundry is a 3-step process: wash, dry, fold, put away. Okay, 4. And that laundry been sitting there for 6 weeks. Girl, if you don't go talk to somebody, ooh, feeling emotionally numb, right? Hey, y'all, welcome in on this afternoon. We are just talking about symptoms of depression and anxiety. And I'm just kind of going through some of the symptoms of depression. Ooh, I don't want to get that wrong. I think it's Matin, F8. F8F, hey, how's it going? Welcome into the space this afternoon on this mental health check-in. We are just talking about depression and anxiety, and I'm just going through some of the symptoms of depression. So I've talked about withdrawal, right? Just not enjoying things that you used to enjoy at one point in time, excessively sleeping. I am well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope that your day is amazing. I hope that you get an unexpected blessing. I hope you find some money. I hope you get a deposit that you just were not anticipating. I hope all good things happen for you today since you decided to stop in here with us today and engage on our mental health check-in. Again, I'm just going through symptoms of depression, right? Losing interest in things, sleeping excessively. Your big grown butt should not be sleeping 14, 16 hours a day. If you work Monday through Friday and your schedule looks like you go to work, you come home, you get into bed, and you do it all over again, baby, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is happening. Okay. And I would encourage you to go see about yourself because that's not normal. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Struggling to complete basic tasks. You are not doing laundry. The laundry has been backed up 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks, right? You can't do the dishes, which is a pretty simple process. You're not even loading the dishwasher. You mean to tell me you have a dishwasher and you're not even loading it? Simple tasks are difficult for you. You're not making the bed. That's hard. That's too much right now. Feeling emotionally numb is also a symptom of depression, right? You have so many feelings. Shahar, I hope I said that correctly. Welcome into the space. Happy Tuesday. On this mental health check-in, we are just talking about depression and anxiety. And on this afternoon, I'm just talking about symptoms of depression, right? And so I've talked about withdrawing, sleeping excessively, losing interest in things. And if you see me looking over, it is because I take notes, okay? Because I'm serious about your mental and emotional well-being being optimal, right? It's okay to acknowledge the fact that sometimes things are just not as they should be. And the first step in improving a problem is acknowledging the fact that it exists. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. Sometimes we don't know that excessive sleeping is a symptom of depression. We just might think we're tired. We just might think we're bored, which sometimes could be the case, right? But excessive sleeping, losing interest in things, withdrawing, struggling to complete basic tasks, right? These are all symptoms of depression. Feeling emotionally numb. You're just feeling so many different things that you can't even name the feeling. It's so much going on that you're just numb to everything. That's a symptom of depression. Irritability is also a symptom of depression, right? Like your kids say something to you, people say something to you, and you have no patience. Absolutely no patience. None at all, right? That's also a symptom of depression. Feeling disconnected. Just the best way to describe feeling disconnected is you're living your life but you're not an active participant. It's like you're watching yourself live your life, but you're not actively participating. You were at the game, but you don't really remember any particulars about the game. You were at the graduation, but you don't remember any particulars about the graduation. That's what feeling disconnected looks like. It looks like you know your job because you've been doing it, so you do it well, right? But you're kind of doing it on autopilot. That's what feeling disconnected looks like. And then another symptom of depression, and this is for my high performers. Ooh, this is for my high performers. This is for those people who just feel like they high performers. That literally, you know who you are. High performers. If that's you, just put HP in the chat. So I know I'm talking to somebody that can relate. It's about 4:30, 5:30. Some of y'all just getting off work and you just been at them people's job, just killing it. Your numbers are great. The quotas are great. The space is clean. Everybody's getting along. You've been executing problems all day. You're ahead of the curve. And as soon as you get in your car, you're just miserable. That's a symptom of depression. Functioning at work while falling apart privately. You are crying all the way to work. You're yelling all the way to work. You're frustrated all the way to work. Get to work, do the job well. Do the job well enough that they don't fire you. Be happy while you're there, executing things while you're there, conversational while you're there. Then, as soon as you get in that car or on your way home, it's miserable. Everything is wrong. That's a symptom of depression. So, good afternoon on this mental health check in. This afternoon, we are talking about symptoms of depression and anxiety. And I just kind of went through some of the symptoms of depression, and I'm going to go through them again because I want to make sure that we understand what it looks like. And I also want you guys to understand that if these things are isolated, right? Isolated, nothing else is happening. You just don't want to go to tennis. Okay, you might be menstruating. Maybe something happened at tennis. Maybe you're losing interest. So I don't want you to think if you identify with one or two of these things, oh my goodness, I'm depressed. No, and this is also not, I am not anyone's mental health advisor in this space. This is just more so mental health advice, right? Just kind of putting the information out there, even though I am well educated in the genre. But I do want to point that out, right? Because sometimes people can hear one thing and then they take it and run with it. Oh, I've been excessively sleeping. I must be depressed. Or you've just worked 70 hours in a 5-day time period. So, yes, you're going to be exhausted, right? When you have 3, 4, 5, 6 of these things happening simultaneously, which means all at the same time, when these symptoms are starting to negatively impact your mental and emotional well-being, when it's impacting your relationships, when it's impacting how you parent, how you show up for your spouse, your performance at work, your entrepreneurial journey, right? If you're seeing a significant dip in spaces that you were once excelling, that might be an indication that you are struggling with symptoms of depression. So I'm going to go through them again. Hey, as you guys come in, welcome into the space on this afternoon. On this mental health check-in, we are just talking about anxiety and depression. And I'm just going through symptoms of depression. Again, you have withdrawing, right? Withdrawing, sleeping excessively, losing interest in things. You used to love tennis, now you don't do it anymore. You used to love Pilates, now you don't do it anymore. You used to go play basketball every Sunday with the guys, and now you don't do those things anymore. All of those are examples, right? All of those are examples of what it looks like when we might be struggling with depression. Struggling to complete basic tasks. Why have you not done laundry in 6 weeks? And you know it's really something else going on when you have a unit available to you. It's one thing if you got to pack everything up and get on the bus, or you got to pack everything up in the car and in the truck, and then you got to drive it to the laundromat, or you got to take it to the drop-off service. Okay, that could just be logistical, but I'm talking to people right now that I know for a fact you have a working washer and dryer in your unit, in your townhouse, in your condo. You're a homeowner, you have one. You live in an apartment complex, but they have units available to you. That's very comfortable for you to navigate and get to. And you ain't did laundry in 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you don't think something is wrong. I'm not going to be in nobody's business today. I'm just going to continue talking about what the symptoms of depression might look like and how they might show up. Other things: feeling emotionally numb, just not having it, just not caring, just existing. Irritability. You know what? If you are a millennial, I think a lot of our mamas was depressed because those were some irritated ladies. Okay, you have never experienced irritation like you asking your mama a simple question that she feel like you should know and understand, and she already gave you the answer to. Okay, but you not quite there yet. Like it to you, it might really just be like, which one am I supposed to take? And everything breaks loose. Okay, irritability is a symptom of depression. If you are snappy about everything and everybody, everything bothers you, everything is a complaint, everything is getting under your skin. Girl, but what's really wrong though? Because it can't possibly be this. True story. I was working one time a long time ago, long time ago, right? Not now. But I was working a long time ago and I was having a conversation with someone. And in the middle of the conversation, that was not escalated. Nobody was in trouble, like nothing like that. It was literally just a professional conversation amongst colleagues, right? And in the middle of the conversation, the individual that I was talking to, y'all, they just started crying. They just started crying. And I just sat there and just let them cry. And when they was done, I was like, okay, well, what's really wrong? Because it can't possibly be this. Like, I know for a fact this is not what you are in here crying about. So what is really wrong? Okay? That was a real story. Feeling disconnected is also a symptom of depression. And the best way that I can describe feeling disconnected is living your life, right? Like, but not being an active participant. So it's kind of like if you see people look back at pictures and you may ask them a question and they have no recollection. I don't know, I was just there. But what had just happened to them prior to that? Oh, their loved one had just passed away. They had just gotten demoted. They had just lost their home, right? Something had occurred. They may have been in a low season. They may have been experiencing clinical depression. And so that's why they can look at a picture and you can say that they were there, but they have really no memory of it, right? Because I'm living life, but I'm disconnected from it. It's like I'm watching, but I'm not an active participant. And then another symptom of depression, again, is functioning at work while falling apart privately. You are thriving in business. You're doing so great and so wonderful from a business perspective. But in real time, like when you get back in your car, like the people at your job know one version of you, and the people at your house know a completely different version. And the two would be so confused if they ever cross paths. If them people at your house ever seen, that's why the people at your house always got something smart to say about your job. That's why they don't ever want to hear nothing about that damn job. Nothing about that darn job. They don't want to hear about it, right? You know why? Because they trying to figure out how you metamorphose into another person when you go to work. Because you mean at home. You not nice at home. You not kind at home. You not caring at home. But you functioning at the job, you getting the quota done, you meeting your numbers, your productivity is amazing. That's a symptom of depression. That is a symptom of depression. I have a question for you guys. Thank you so much for participating in our afternoon mental health check-in. On this afternoon, we are just talking about symptoms of depression and anxiety. And I want to know, what is something you stop doing when you're mentally overwhelmed? We've talked about like some of the symptoms of depression, and I've talked about like some of the ways that it can show up. Not going to tennis, not going to Pilates, you stop getting your nails done, you stop looking after your hair, you stop walking on your machine every morning, you don't make your smoothies anymore, you don't go out with your girlfriends anymore, right? What is something you stop doing when you're mentally overwhelmed? Let me know in the comments. I'm about to drink some water because I'm a little parched. But let me know in the comments. What's something that you do when you're mentally overwhelmed? When you just are over it? When you're like, I have done all that I can do and there is nothing left. There is no more left for me. This is it. The next point that I want to talk about, because we are talking about depression and anxiety today, is y'all, when you know you experience anxiety because everything is right now. Everything is life or death. Everything is life or not here no more. When you have anxiety. Okay? Like it is just it's just pressing. Anxiety will have you trying to solve problems that ain't even happened yet. Like how you trying to solve it ain't even happened yet. You don't even know what y'all eating for dinner tonight. Tuesday, what's today? Tuesday, August 25th. You don't even know what you're eating for dinner tonight, but you are trying to solve a potential problem. But that's what it looks like when you have anxiety. It makes absolutely no sense. But it could be your normal. So to you, it would make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. I'm just here to say. Anxiety will have you trying to solve problems that have not happened yet. Why are you worrying about potential things? What if it could happen, but maybe? Why do you care? And yes, there are sometimes you do have to think on the offense, right? You have to be prepared for the possibility. You have to have a plan A and a plan B. I'm well aware of that. Y'all do this about just stuff that, well, I don't want to say anything about being disrespected at work because if I say something, then they gon' start cutting my hours. Well, have you ever been in that situation before? At this employer, you, not what happened to your coworker, not what they told you happens. Have you ever been in this situation at this current employer where something happened and you felt disrespected and you advocated for yourself and vocalized how you were feeling? Hey, how's it going? And as a direct result of that, your hours were cut. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because it does. Right? I'm saying, has that happened to you? Has that happened to you at this employer with this manager, with this supervisor, with this director that you're going to report it to? Probably not. Probably not. But you're worried about something that hasn't even happened yet. And that is what anxiety can look like. Right? It can look like overthinking. It can look like overthinking. I don't know what I just dropped. I feel like I dropped something. It can look like overthinking. Your brain just does not shut off. You're always thinking about something. You're always worrying about something. Like anxiety, a symptom of anxiety is overthinking, excessive thinking. All the time about everything. You have come out with 17 different scenarios about 17 different things in 6 minutes. And I know I'm in some of y'all's business, and it's okay. That's why you came in here today, because on today, in this Mental Health Live, on this check-in, we are talking about depression and anxiety. Okay, because I know y'all tired of fighting y'allself. I know you tired of fighting your mind, your own thoughts. It's, at this point, for some of y'all, it's not even outside people. Ain't nobody said to you, you can't do it. You are still replaying, which is a symptom of anxiety. You are still replaying somebody in the 5th grade telling you you couldn't be something. You 40 years old and you replaying something somebody said to you in the 5th grade. Your grandma told you you was ugly and you 27 now. She told you was ugly when you was 8 and you 27 now. You still, all you think about is grandma saying you was ugly. That's called ruminating. When you think about the same thing over and over and over and you get caught in a loop. That's also a symptom of anxiety, which is what we're talking about in today's mental health check-in. DMRCN, how is it going? How are you? Welcome into the space. On this afternoon live, we are just talking about symptoms of depression and anxiety, and I'm going through different symptoms of anxiety. One being overthinking, you're just excessively thinking always in your head. Oh, worst case scenarios. What if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if it doesn't work? What if this falls apart? What if that falls apart? What if that doesn't go through? What if this doesn't go through? And listen, sometimes worst case scenarios are a direct result of trauma, right? Sometimes worst case scenarios are really a direct result of trauma. When you have survived awful things, right? When you've been betrayed, whatever experiences you have had, it can change the way that your brain works. And it can circuit itself to survival mode. And worst case scenarios oftentimes can be a derivative of that. You got to constantly check on stuff. I'm just trying to figure out, why do you have to check to make sure your door is locked 7 different times? Once, yes. Twice if you want to double check to be nice. 7 times? You gotta check the door 7 different times. That's anxiety, girl, boy, sir, ma'am, human being, person, love, they, them. That is a sign of anxiety. That's a symptom of anxiety. Constantly checking the door, your car, to make sure it's locked. Why y'all gotta click that lock 7 times? The chirp worked the first time. Why you gotta do it 7 times? Why you gotta do it 8 times? Why you gotta do it 10 times? Why you have to triple check to make sure the window was locked? If the check cleared in your account, why do you check your account 8 times in 4 minutes? It cleared. It's there. That's a symptom of anxiety. Difficulty relaxing. Have y'all ever been around somebody and you just like, when was the last time you had fun? Do you ever laugh? What is wrong? You ever been around somebody like that before? You ever been around somebody that's just very uptight? All the time. Their personality trait is uptight. They just have a very hard time relaxing. And it's very uncomfortable to be around people like that. And for most of us, it never occurred to us to consider maybe that person has anxiety, which explains why they have a very, very hard time relaxing. Because when your brain and your system and your body is always going, it is going to be nearly impossible for any person to relax under those set of circumstances, right? So now you sitting there thinking about all the times you was making fun of somebody or saying you didn't want to go, or they acting funny, why they got that, when really that person could have been struggling with anxiety this whole time and we didn't know. Because who would have known that that can be a symptom of anxiety, having a hard time relaxing? Another symptom of anxiety is dread and doom. Always feeling like something bad is coming, something bad is going to happen. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You cannot even celebrate good news because you're worried that something bad is going to happen. You could be having a really, really good day. Everything worked out the way that you needed it to. And you'll be in the back of your mind, okay, I can't get too happy. I can't get too happy, because trauma teaches us that if we get too happy, inevitably something bad is going to happen. And we start to associate those things together. That is a symptom of anxiety. Who knew? Who knew worrying was a symptom of anxiety? Who knew constantly checking things was a symptom of anxiety? Who knew having a hard time relaxing was a symptom of anxiety? Okay. Who knew feeling like something bad is going to happen was a symptom of anxiety? Who knew trying to control everything is a symptom of anxiety? Y'all know, okay, them people that they just got to know everything from A to Z, from point A to point B. They want to know where you going, who you going with, who all going to be there. Da 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 da. They got to know all the details. Like they need an itinerary of every single thing and every single aspect of their life. They got some control issues because they got anxiety. Really, that's just what it boiled down to. Like, and yes, there are logistical things that we may need to share. You can't be 16 talking about my mama and them just nosy. You can't be a married person. My husband just nosy. My wife just nosy. We in a union. Or so you said in front of that man. So yeah, we gotta know where you at. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it's a family function. You done told your mama, you done told your auntie, just show up. We got it. Sit this out. You done did it all these years. We got it. Can't do it. Can't do it. You know why? Because they have anxiety. So recap. On this afternoon, we are in this live talking about different symptoms of depression and anxiety. I've already gone through the symptoms of depression and I just got finished going through symptoms of anxiety, right? And some of those things include overthinking is a symptom of anxiety, right? Worst case scenarios about stuff that ain't even happened yet. Like you ain't even made it through your day yet. Do you know how hard you done fought just to get through today? I really needed to say that point because I just hit my elbow on that vanity and it hurt real bad, but I'm gonna just keep going like that didn't happen because it don't matter, right? But you know how many things you had to fight through just today, just now to make it to 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And you worrying about that ain't even happened yet. Make that make sense. Logistically, like common sense, make that make sense. You have not even made it through the rest of today yet, and you are worrying about Saturday. If you work a traditional schedule, you still got 3 more days of the work week. Why are you worried about Saturday? On Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Worry about Tuesday. Worst case scenarios is a symptom of anxiety, right? Constantly checking things is a symptom of anxiety. Having a hard time relaxing is a symptom of anxiety. Okay? Feeling like something bad is happening, feeling like something bad is coming. That's a symptom of anxiety. And trying to control everything. Trying to control everything is a symptom of anxiety. Okay? And lastly, you could be functional and still struggling. You could be functional and still struggling. You can show up to work and still be depressed. You can take your kids to soccer practice and all their games on time and sit there and sell the cookies and talk to the other moms and still be depressed. You could be buying up properties left and right and still be depressed. Okay? You can be functioning and still struggling because functioning does not automatically equate to okay. Functioning, the ability to do tasks, does not equate to I am mentally and emotionally sound. We see it all the time in popular culture, right? In our news feed and in real life. Celebrities and famous people and influencers are humans, are people, and people can be functioning and still very much so struggling. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this mental health check-in. On this afternoon, I just wanted to pop in and talking about depression and anxiety. If I have time, I might come back a little bit later just to continue expanding, because I feel like I definitely also want to talk about what can help, right? We can talk about the symptoms. I want to also be able to provide a space to talk about different things that can help. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the lives. I really have been enjoying doing them, like for sure. I told my mama I was going to be famous when I was little. She's like, girl, get your own somewhere. Go be famous in there and wash them dishes. I love you, mama girl. All right, y'all. I hope that this live was educational and also enjoyable. I really do care about your mental and emotional well being. I have tons of content all around your mental and emotional well being. I am a mental health advocate, I am a mental health professional. I am well versed and well educated in all things mental health. Hence my business, All Things Mental Health LLC. I have journals available. I encourage you to check out the page, right? Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Be well, take care of yourself, and love on you, okay? Because you deserve that.